Welcome back, Truth Seeker. November 22nd, 2018. It's Thanksgiving. It's the 55-year anniversary of the assassination of JFK. And like we've seen in recent years, we have another mass shooting during the time of the shopping season around Black Friday. A few years back, it was Colorado. It's happened recently in Washington State. Happened not too many years ago in Oregon. They like to stage these shootings. Well, they like to stage these shootings all the time, but they're seeming to become part of the annual shopping holiday tradition, a mass shooting at a mall. And why do they do this? Because they know that almost every American is going to be shopping. So by this being in their news, it becomes part of their consciousness. They want the whole nation thinking about mass shootings and what needs to be done about gun ownership. So this happened at the River Chase Mall in Hoover, Alabama. And let me show you why today was just so perfect for the mass shooting drill being reported as a tragedy, which is what they do again and again in these incidents. And they love to pick on small towns too. Take a small town and then broadcast it to a big nation. So if you watched my podcast earlier today, we talked about how today had 44 numerology, and there was a story out of Wisconsin about a young girl who'd written a poem about how guns have turned her city into chaos, and she ended up being the victim of a stray bullet that killed her this past Monday. Date where we had headlines about 4 mass shootings in 4 states, 4 and 4. The same numbers we see again and again in these incidents. Today, November 22nd, 2018 has the 44 numerology. In gematria, shooting and gunfire equal 44. The word kills also 44. In light of it being the anniversary of the JFK assassination, he was the 35th president, but he was the 44th term president. 44, a deadly number. Also, as we've talked about many times before, mall has the gematria of 38 like death. And in this case, it was the town of Hoover where this mall shooting happened. Hoover, 38. If you take out the city and state name, Hoover, Alabama, it's 51. Today's date numerology also equates to 51, as does mass shooting, another number that we see again in these rituals, incident after incident. Just scan through the videos I've made in recent weeks of the mass shootings in the news. You're going to see 44, 51. They pop up like clockwork nearly every time. A couple years ago, I went up to the Burlington Mall shooting. That was here in Washington State where I live. You know, there wasn't any sign of any shooting that ever happened there, but it was reported in the national news that one had happened. Burlington 51, conspiracy 51, again, mass shooting 51. This time it's Hoover, Alabama. Same numbers again and again. And conspiracy 51, guess what the word moon equals? You know, a lot of people say they filmed the moon landing at Area 51. The word federal is also 51, not an accident. You know, they didn't name that building an arbitrary number. It's because masonry, which controls a lot of things, including our government and police, as well as NASA, they work by this code of letters and numbers, a secret to the masses. Hoover, Alabama, and the base ciphers also sums to 75, like order out of chaos. And look at where Hoover is. It's on the 33rd parallel north. What's today? 11/22, 11 plus 22, 33. False flag, 33. Kennedy, 33. JFK was killed in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. Just like Washington, D.C. is named after George Washington, the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. False flag, Kennedy, police, masonry, secrecy, order. They all sum to 33, not by accident. Keep in mind the phrase order out of chaos sums to 183. Coincidentally, so does Thanksgiving. And if you missed today's earlier podcast, you should watch that. Covered the March 18th explosion at the New London School. That happened on a date 18/3 and not by accident. The name of this mall, River Chase Galleria Mall, 211. 211 is the 47th prime number. That's the trademark number that we see again and again in these Masonic-related rituals. Policeman's 47, cops 47, government's 47, authorities 47, and there's a whole lot more to that list. Looks like I forgot to put it up here, but here, I'll just pull it out of my documents real quick. The Freemason logo is a compass set at 47 degrees in tribute to the 47th problem of Euclid. See if I can zoom that in. This compass set at 47 degrees, and not by accident. The word foundation equals 47. The 47th problem of Euclid is about how to establish foundation. It's why this nation, founded by Freemasons, has a birthday of the 4th month, the 7th day. And realize this story is going to lead right into Black Friday. On the East Coast, it's already Black Friday. And millions of Americans are already out doing their shopping in the middle of the night. This story is going to be in the back of their mind. They're going to hear it on the radio, on the TV. Another shooting. And I won't be surprised if there's more tomorrow too, because these things come at an ever-increasing pace. Speaking of 47, another story in the news today. See, a New York State Senator dropped in. He was perfectly healthy. Then he got the flu and it came on fast, and then he just died. Now his wife doesn't know what happened to him. She doesn't understand how her healthy husband could have just died so soon at age 47. Again, been talking about this number for years. I say when you want to educate people about this code, teach them about the number 47, because once it's in their consciousness, they're going to realize how often it comes up. We just had the death of Kim Porter last week. She didn't really die at 47, but every single news station reported that she died at 47. She died at age 46 on the day leaving 46 days left in the year, because the word sacrifice is 46. If they would have reported she died at 46, people would have caught on, because it was just a few months ago, Craig Mack, associated with Bad Boy Records, dropped dead at age 46. You learn what the numbers mean to these people. You see how they're used in the rituals again and again. 47 is a big government number. This is a government man dead by the numbers. Not only is he dead at 47, he died 11 days after his 47th birthday. And think about what 47 is in numerology. 4 plus 7, 11. The master number. Where was this man governing? New York, the 11th state, dead in the 11th month. His name had that gematria 67 like blood sacrifice, also 44 like kill, 73 like sacrifice. So anyway, my lady's mad at me. We're supposed to be chilling out watching a movie right now. That was the plan, but I said, uh-oh, shooting in the news. Got to get the word out, None of these shootings by the numbers can go unchecked. And in case you're new here, been doing this for 5 years, got a book. You want to get a good book for Black Friday. Here it is right here. About 800 pages of knowledge, $5. You can't beat it. $5. There's a chapter on mass shootings by the numbers covering several decades. Show you how again and again it's the number 44 for several decades. Undeniable pattern. The chapter on mass shootings is over 100 pages long. It didn't need to be as long as it is, but I just wanted to really prove the point. Point I've been proving for 5 years straight. Let today be the latest example. This book came out in March of this year. A lot of information covered in this book. Shows you what this nation's really about. Learn a whole lot. How sports games are rigged by the code, how elections are rigged by the code, how propaganda is contrived every single day, how our whole history is pretty much made up nonsense by the numbers. See the video I put out earlier today on Thanksgiving. What's supposedly told to us about Thanksgiving. Guarantee you the Thanksgiving story is a load of BS. Guaranteed. This is a nation where people came over here and murdered all the native people. You think they really fed them? Yeah, right. People need to wake up to the lies. One of the most important chapters in this book's about September 11th. That's what really got me hooked into this code. On 9/11, I was 18 years old, and I said, yeah, right. 911, national emergency, buildings coming down like a perfect demolition, turning into dust, and you're going to tell me a man in a cave did it? You must think I'm an idiot. And then lo and behold, it turned out all the people around all the people around me fell for a hook, line, and sinker. I just said, oh my God, what's wrong with these people? So I had to figure out what was going on. And this is what's going on. Doing things by the numbers. You guys know how tall that building 7 was that fell on 9/11? Fell 8 hours later in the day for no reason. It was 47 floors tall. You know, each floor 47,000 square feet, not by accident. Show you something real quick. Just since we're talking about 47, Osama bin Laden. Buildings 1 and 2, the 2 big ones that came down, they were 110 stories tall. Building 7, 47 floors tall. And 33 years before those buildings came down, 1968, 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. On the 47th day of the year, no less, February 16th, 1968. Look it up, 47th day of the year. 911 made the national emergency dialing code. World Trade Center construction began. George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. You know, there's even more to that riddle, but it wasn't an accident that all those things happened 33 years before those buildings came down in a massive false flag. 33. So all of these events, they're like mini 9/11s. Because what was 9/11 about? It was about, you know, starting these illegal wars so they could go over there and grow the poppies, get everybody hooked on the heroin like what's going on in the US right now. That was part of it. It was about building the oil pipeline through Afghanistan like they did. What else was it about? It was about making it so they could create a surveillance state over us in the information age, in the technology age. You know, so they can keep all of our digital records and all of our records. I mean, you go to the library at this day and age, ever since 9/11, they even keep a federal file of what book you checked out. You know, they got to know everything about you. And they made it all legitimate with their little Patriot Act. You know? That's what this is all about. Just reminding you, there's all these threats out there, crazy people. You need less liberties. You need more Big Brother. You need more of your rights taken away so you can be so safe in your home in front of your flat screen with your Cheetos. You know? All right, Truth Seeker. I'm going to sign off. Be back tomorrow with the daily podcast. You got to sign up for that Patreon. I need more of you guys to sign up for that Patreon, $1 a month, and you can get in on the call-in line. You can call in. Need you guys to help build up that revenue stream so we can hire some people and start pounding the pavement, because that's what needs to happen. I need to be on the flight right now to Hoover, Alabama. That's what's got to happen. You know, we got to start going to these towns, interviewing people, you know, going to the mall, just like I could go to the mall in Washington State when it happened up here and see there was no shooting that happened, just some made up BS. Same thing needs to happen. I guarantee you it's the same thing in Hoover, Alabama. You go there, there's probably not a sign of a bullet anywhere. Go to CNN right now and watch the video on Hoover, Alabama, and see what it goes into. The next video goes into. It goes into a video about how they're doing active shooter drills, police departments at malls, schools, theaters, and they're doing it unannounced to create a more realistic scenario, you know, and they're using like what looks like real ammunition. They're hiring crisis actors. They're hiring people to pretend like they're the villains, to play dead when they get shot. This is what's going on all over the nation. You know, they mock you on the news. So go check it out. They put it all in front of your face. Till next time, Truth Seeker.